incredibly gifted offensive team, but 21 three-pointers, 65% shooting the first half.
Yeah.
Talk about needing to be connected on a string, all five. What did you see from your defense?
I thought, again, give them credit. They did shoot the ball well. I thought there was some opportunities where we were, I think, in good help position and didn't react well enough to several of them where they kind of shot it. They were able to get it off, especially in the corners, and one passes away where I think we were in a pretty good shift and help. But on the flight of the ball, we got to do a better job reacting. I think we kind of reacted after the guy catches it, and I think that's an area we got to get better. I thought the rotation piece in terms of when the ball was skipped out, we were better there. I just think one pass away, we got it to we needed to be better, harder contesting, some of those threes.
You fielded a question pregame about what the Celtics need to do tonight. You were talking to Joe a couple times when he was doing the hack of Drummond. Did you take an exception to that?
No, I just, Andre is a veteran guy, and I told him, I'm like, what are we doing here? Like I'm totally fine. Like I get it on keeping your guys in, wanting to get in. The league's made a big deal, but they also, in fairness to them, they got to deal with the rules too. If they're trying to get into, Vegas, there's things that they got to do, And for me, it was just the fouling. And Joe was great when I talked to him. He understood, and he didn't want to. He wasn't trying to do anything. But I also understand the situation he's in terms of they're trying to get to Vegas. So it's just a tough situation, right? And I'm not gonna. I said this before. I'm not gonna, necessarily. He's got to coach his team and do what he feels right. I just felt like, okay, great, keep Tatum, keep balling. I've never ever play all the way to the end. I got no problem with the coach, but I just thought it was putting Andre in a tough spot in a 30-point game. I didn't like that, but he was great when we talked. There was no, I understand what they were trying to do and trying to get there. And listen, the league this is for the league.
Right.
So I understand. But this is what the league's done, that they've made this point differential thing. And I feel bad for them from this standpoint. God forbid in a game like that. Yeah. That's that, and again, as a coach, you're always up against that. You're up by 10 points, there's 2 minutes to go. Do you start stubbing? Do you not? Because you've seen, leads. But when you're up 30 and there's 5 minutes to go in a game and you have all your main guys in there and potentially someone gets hurt over, a play-in tournament, the in-season tournament because of points, man, but I also understand, the league's made a big deal of it. Everybody's trying to take it serious. And for them to get to Vegas, there's a point difference, and I understand the situation Joe's in, so there was no hard feelings, and he needs to coach his team and do his best. I just felt bad for Andre in that situation is how I felt.
Billy, with first of all, is there any kind of update on Zach, how serious it is, or is it the same kind of?
It's the foot again, acting up.
You're going to have to shut him down, you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I talked to him. I think he's, I think he probably was feeling it a little bit last game, and even when he came back after the game he missed, I think he's feeling a little bit, but, he always tries to play. He wants to play. Yeah. But they'll have to obviously manage that. I don't know what kind of time would be missed. Tomorrow, I think it was going in for that layup. He stepped on, I think it was maybe Holiday's foot and kind of tweaked his ankle there. I don't know how severe it is or if there was much swelling. They always say I'm doing okay, but I really don't know either one of those guys in terms of going into Milwaukee.
You mentioned the three-pointers. There were a couple of them, especially when you watch the replay, and obviously you're going to watch the film and see that a couple of them were just lack of effort.
Mm-hmm.
You can do all the closeout drills or do all the communication drills or rope drills that you want. If guys aren't going to put the effort to go close out a three, as a coach, shouldn't your message be the one thing I can control for you is your playing time? Does that start to become a thing where if guys, I don't care what the name of the back of the jersey is, if you're not going to make an effort, asses are on the bench.
Yeah, certainly going small, at the end of the half and trying to get more speed and quickness on the floor, trying to do that. But yeah, that's something I think when you start talking about effort, that's as a professional player that there should be effort out there, and we'll deal with those clips. I don't know all the ones you're talking about. There was definitely some of them I saw, and those were addressed, in timeouts, about the effort we was giving on a couple of them. But I'm not sure the exact ones. There was one I know.
There was one with, I think with like 3 something left. in the second, right before the half. It was with
Yep.
Vooch and Zach.
Yeah.
It was just like neither of them
Yep.
really cared that Al Horford was going to bust a three on him.
Yeah, and that certainly, tried to address that as best we could.
Do you
the
have to
closeout.
become more drastic in how you address it instead of just talking that there's going to be ramifications at this point?
Yeah, I'm not a big threatening guy. When you go in there and you start threatening people, I'm not. I generally don't do that. I try to confront, whatever it is there, and if there's something there that's an issue, you try to address it. I want to see the clip. I think I know the one you're talking about. It was probably the one that was furthest from our bench.
Yes.
That's the one.
Yeah.
And I subbed that next.
It was a pick. It wasn't.
Yep.
It wasn't a hard pick.
No, and I subbed that next time out. We closed the half small, and I'm not blaming Vooch and or Zach for it. I want to see it more on the film, but those things we put out there in terms of the effort that we have to put into closing out and doing that, and it's a hard job. I'm not diminishing how hard it is, but we're going to have to put in great effort to dig ourselves out of that. And every possession, both offensively and defensively, you want the effort to be at a very, very high level. There's no question. But I also know that, Vooch and Zach and DeMar, all these guys are important to the success of the team. We need them to play at a level effort-wise and skill-wise and all the things that they do, like they're capable of. And, for me, just putting that out there and talking to them about it and confronting it is what I try to do, And then if we've got to make changes in the game, whether it's the rotations or whatever it is, I try to do that as much as I can. But for me to go in there and start threatening, if you don't do this, this, I'd rather give guys and look at the guy's going to go in the game and give me the best that he's got, and if it's not, we have to make a changes or adjustments. You try to do that.
When you're having those conversations with guys, what are you getting back? Because it seems like this has been an issue since opening night, some of that effort, especially on the closeout. So what are you hearing back from them?
Well, some of it, is yes, need to do a better job. Some of it's the players talking, about needing to do a better job. Some of it, to be honest, I think you guys have mentioned this, is the communication piece is not great at times. It's hard sometimes when you're supposed to be given an effort and all of a sudden there's not a communication on a switch and it looks like you're just standing back there. And I don't know. I know the play that Joe's talking about. I don't know exactly how it unfolded and transpired, but I have an idea. But that's all you do is just try to keep putting it out there, and these guys are professional players and got to go in there and do the job, and we got to try to get the most out of them to give the effort that's necessary, I can't sit there and say that every three-pointer they made was because of a lack of effort. Certainly there was clips I think we could have been better there. There's no doubt about that.
Billy, was the decision to start Patrick, even though Alex was available, multiple levels in the sense that can control Alex's minutes a little bit more, and also Patrick's played well the last couple of games, or what was the thinking behind it?
I think the first thing was looking at the second unit. Since we've pulled Alex from the second unit, that unit quite honestly struggled some.
Yeah.
I didn't love the fact that, I love starting him, so it's not even about that. Whether or not we go back to that, we'll see. But I didn't like sitting him 12 straight minutes, and that's what you were doing. You were playing him 6, and you were playing him the next 6th. That's a long time for a player like that can impact the game, and somebody has to sit him for 12 straight minutes. And then the second unit was struggling. So some of it was to get him back into the second unit, and I also thought DeMar needed some help and put Kobe back in there and got him off a little bit early to try. So we had Alex, Kobe, and DeMar on the perimeter with either Patrick or Torrey in the power forward spot along with Andre, just so there was maybe some more ball handling. I think DeMar, at least the last game, was out there kind of as the primary guy, and just wanted to try to get him a little bit more help. But I do like the fact that I do like Alex starting, but I don't know if the best thing for our team is to have him play the first 6 minutes. Because if you're talking about playing 25 minutes, maybe there's a little bit more minutes to play with in the second half. You're playing him 6 minutes to start the game, and then you're basically, like I said, going all that 12 minutes. And I'd rather maybe do it the other way, where it's 6 minutes. He rests for 4, 5, 6 minutes, and he plays the last 6, and then you have maybe a little bit more minutes there. So it's just something to try to play, and also to shore up the second unit.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.